The other day, Justin Trudeau came to the United States and went to Mar-a-Lago where he had dinner with Donald Trump to talk to Donald Trump about the tariffs that Donald Trump's threatening to implement on Canada. According to a couple people who were sitting there having dinner with him, apparently Trump told Trudeau that
patrol the entire border. Will the Prime Minister do that?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I think the Leader of the Opposition needs to reflect carefully on whether he really wants to amplify the erroneous narratives that the Americans are putting forward around, for example, our...
And tonight we're getting some new details about that Trump-Trudeau dinner from two people who were at the table. We are told that when Trudeau told President-elect Trump that new tariffs would kill...
Yes, Justin Trudeau is receiving massive backlash on social media. According to this article recently put out by Fox News and Newsweek, which I'm going to show you all the videos, Trump suggests Canada become first state after Trudeau said tariff will kill Canada's economy. A lot of people are taking this too far. Just few hours ago, Trump posted this photo and it is receiving a lot of attention. I don't know. To me, this was just a joke. On a serious note, Trudeau is now acknowledging that this is happening. Then I asked myself, what has he been doing for the past years? He allowed this to happen. Now Trump came in. Look at how Canada is hard.
Last week, Trump made clear that his tariff threats are going to become a reality for any country that isn't pulling its weight. For Canada and Mexico, that means a 25% tariff on all exports if they don't crack down on the drugs and migrants bum rushing our borders. Justin Trudeau knows Trump means business. So he took a flight down to Mar-a-Lago on Blackface Friday to prove he is ready to play ball.
Prime Minister, was it a productive meeting with President-elect?
It was an excellent conversation.
And Fox has exclusive details about how that Mar-a-Lago sit-down went. The two talked tariffs over crab cocktail and oysters. At one point, Trump told Trudeau to get our trade deficit under control, telling the Prime Minister it is unacceptable for the U.S. to run up to like a $100 billion trade deficit. And if they don't, they can expect a flat 25% tariff on all Canadian goods day one. Trudeau apparently wasn't thrilled. Sacre bleu, you will kill our economy, he said. Then Trump said if Canada can't survive without ripping off the U.S., they're free to join America as our 51st state. And when someone at the table pointed out that that would probably be a pretty Democrat state, Trump says we'll split Canada in two, the conservative side and the liberal side, to keep it fair electorally. And if Justin wants to stick around, he can be Canada's governor. Everybody laughed, but most importantly, it got results. Canada's ambassador to the United States says the country's already talking about beefing up their border security. Watch.
What's the biggest thing that Prime Minister Trudeau promised President-elect Trump that he will try to achieve in the next few months or year?
I think that it's more infrastructure. So more surveillance, more helicopters, potentially more infrastructure at the border. Again, these are things that we were thinking of doing on our own anyway, just because secure borders are essential. But I think now we're going to be able to talk a bit with the incoming administration about how we coordinate on that.
Oh, yes. They were already planning on securing the border all along. They just didn't get around to it until Trump told them to.
Trudeau is cool. When I look at the whole situation and what is happening now, Canada is panicking. A lot of people, especially when I look at this video, which I'm about to show you, Trudeau was put on a hot seat where he was unable to actually answer questions pertaining to that. He acknowledged everything that this is happening at the border. People are entering through Canada. All kind of things are entering. Then I begin to ask myself, so Trudeau knew that this was happening until Trump came in. It therefore means if Biden was still there, this same thing will continue. Trudeau will do nothing. He will allow that to happen, which is extremely concerning. Trump is very wise. He came in and pinched them a little. Now Trudeau is understanding that if Trump put this out, it will affect Canada economy. Reason he's panicking like this and elections are coming. You can understand how this will affect him. The opposition is taking it to a different level.
I think the leader of the opposition needs to reflect carefully on whether he really wants to amplify the erroneous narratives that the Americans are putting forward around, for example, our border, when less than 1% of migrants coming into the United States irregularly come from Canada, where 0.2% of fentanyl coming into the United States comes from Canada. These are things that we would all do well to stand up and say, yes, there's things we can and are working on together at our border, but amplifying these broken narratives is simply not responsible leadership.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Breaking things is not responsible, Mr. Speaker, and that's what he's been doing for 9 years. My job is not to cover that up for him. In fact, he's broken our economy. He's doubled the cost of housing, doubled the national debt, double trouble across our economy with higher taxes on working Canadians. He's in the process of raising taxes on investment and energy right now, while an American incoming president wants to take our jobs and our businesses. It's understandable why President Trump wants Canadian jobs to go south, but why does this Prime Minister want to help him do it?
Can I ask you about asylum seekers? The number of asylum seekers has essentially tripled over the last 7 years. We're up to 130,000, on pace for more this year. The number of resettled refugees has also doubled. Is it time for a hard cap on the number of asylum seekers and refugees, and what's an acceptable number to you?
I think it is time for a cap, and it's time to get rid of all of the abuse. One of the problems we have now is that Trudeau got rid of the visa requirement for Mexico and basically allowed thousands of people to come here who are not refugees, who are ultimately rejected as refugees, but only after many years.
This guy understands the whole system. I don't know why these people fall for this easily, especially this issue of asylum seeking. I don't want to go details into that because I understand exactly what is going on. I know a lot of people. I know exactly what they do. So him saying like it is because he knows the system. You think these people are stupid if they're allowing these people to come and seek asylum? They know exactly what they're doing. Trump coming to say that, oh, if Canada joined the United States, it will be a blue state. That is something a lot of people are concerned with. Trump played a good game by saying, okay, what I will do, I'll split it into two. So the Republican can take their side. Trudeau can be the governor. That was cool. And the hit Trudeau is having in this house clearly tells you Trump pressed the button.
Kevin O'Leary, chairman of O'Leary Ventures and Shark Tank investor. Kevin, great to see you. I feel like I see you all the time because you're on my house morning and night. My 9 and 11-year-old totally obsessed. They love to watch you make a deal. So is this proof that this is how you get deals done, Kevin?
Yeah, it's an important development, but you know, these China, Mexico, and Canada are completely different in this respect. We know with certainty we're going into NAFTA 3 negotiations. And Trump is smart about this. He's obviously engaged both leaders in both countries. There are different problems in each place. Canada is a huge trading partner, particularly in energy. A huge percentage of energy imported in the U.S. that gives it energy independence comes from Canada, particularly from Alberta, Saskatchewan, and British Columbia. So that's part of the negotiation of NAFTA 3. I think he's positioning. Now, the complexity in the Canadian situation is this. Justin Trudeau is wildly unpopular in Canada. He's been there a long time in the parliamentary system, just like Britain. If you have a prime minister that can't deliver a majority mandate, it's like a piece of old moldy cheese in the fridge. You want to get rid of it. And that's what's going on within his own party. He's surviving these votes. And in fact, there's another one today at 4 o'clock that he'll probably survive. This is a non-confidence vote. That's how they do it in the parliamentary system, to throw the bum out, so to speak. But he won't lose that till around February 15th. So my point is, it won't be Trudeau negotiating with Trump when he's finally in power after January 20th. It's going to be someone else. And I think Trump is smart enough to. So this is a lot of showboating, right?
5% tariffs. And China, if you don't clean up the fentanyl situation, 10% on anything coming into our country.
Donald Trump wins, I'm going to be out of the country. It was an excellent conversation.
Why haven't they done it? They broke the border. Justin Trudeau broke the border.
I think it's funny how Donald Trump has officially done more for Canada, and he's not even in office yet, than Justin Trudeau, our Prime Minister, has done for the country in years.
I had a good call with Donald Trump last night again.
Trudeau is at the end of his time.
The Prime Minister dances while Montreal burns.
Mass officers, and the Prime Minister was nowhere to be found.
Justin Trudeau tweeted to Taylor Swift, asking her to add a stop of her Eras tour in Canada.
Have a nice Sunday.
Doing this. That's what she did.
NBC News can now project that Donald Trump has won the state of Wisconsin, which means he is the winner of this race and will return to the White House.
And Donald Trump will be our next president.
Donald Trump will become the 47th president of the United States.
CNN projects that Donald Trump has been elected president, defeating Vice President Kamala Harris and making a political comeback unlike any in modern American politics.
You know what? Donald Trump likes my music.
Please register to vote.
Look at this. She's only up by 15 points.
Got Taylor Swift.
Faith in the rule of law. Finally.